What's up, guys? Welcome back to TV and Off-Road. Today we're going to do a little bit of a coffee chat intro video. Let you guys get to know us a little bit. We'll tell some stories and just kind of hang out for a few. So, for those who haven't watched some of our walk-around intro videos, my name's Seth. We kind of started this group, gosh, how long has it been since we've...
3-4 years.
3-4 years. So, let's just kind of go back and forth. Introduce each other, what we do, where we live, that type of thing. So again, Seth, Cincinnati. I've got a 2-door red JK.
Mason, also in Cincinnati with a 4-door JK.
Corey Lombard, live in West Jeff, just west of Columbus, with a 2004 LJ.
Nice. We all kind of met. Was it a Ohio River ride?
Meet and greet.
Meet and greet ride. So there's
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. So. For those who aren't on the East Coast, Ohio River Four-Wheelers and it used to be Southern Four-Wheel Drive put together a meet and greet ride every November down in Slade, Kentucky, Red River Gorge area, and in what's now Hollerwood Park. So it's kind of in the area and in Hollerwood Park. And I remember, Mason, you and I were on the same ride, I think. It was at least 4 or 5 years ago.
All three of us were, because Corey had the TJ.
That's right. So.
And he almost ran me over the first time I met him.
That's
Get out of the way.
Yeah. So I learned.
When did you get your Jeep?
This Jeep I got 5 years ago. I had a Jeep previous to that. It was a red 2-door. I had it for like a year. And I had a 99 TJ before that. I had it for like 2 years.
Okay. I bought my Jeep's a 2013. I got it brand new just to have something fun to drive. I moved to Cincinnati from Pittsburgh in 2015 and randomly found the Ohio River Four-Wheelers Club on the internet. And the first meeting I showed up, I remember one of the guys said, just buy a winch and some skid plates and don't do anything else. And my Jeep was bone stock. So I did none of those things. I took it out completely bone stock and went around the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway down there in Slade. And it's amazing what those things will do stock. So I was kind of bitten by the bug at that point. And then I talked him into spending all his money and buying a Jeep.
Yeah, I originally had a Jeep back in, when I was 16. My first Jeep was a 79 CJ7. And then my dad gave me his 79 CJ5, but neither of those Jeeps made it very long. Old, rusted, and
Global motor.
Yeah. So then I turned around and still followed a four-wheel life for quite a while. But then Seth invited me along to go wheeling with him. And
you rode with me, right?
Yeah, that's when you yelled, "I've got to drive home."
Yeah, we were on. There's a volunteer fire department down in the Slade, Kentucky, Zoe, Kentucky area, and they do a charity ride every year to raise money for the fire department. And we were on Holiday Hill. And again, no lift, stock tires, no winch, no anything. And those guys were trying to work me up Holiday Hill. And that was my first experience with just bump it. And my response was, I have to drive this home. Because I had to drive it 2.5 hours back to my house in Cincinnati. So, yeah, you ended up buying the TJ pretty quickly.
Right after that, yeah.
Yeah, right after that.
Because I realized he wasn't going to give it up, and I was all for it. So I went out and got the TJ and wheeled with that for a few years and decided I got tired of the TJ bounces and went with the LJ. So
well, you did you built that TJ because it had like 35s and a lower quality lift on it. I don't remember what it had.
I can't remember either. Might have been just another rough country. I can't. But went with the Terraflex Enduro Terraflex lift.
New frame.
Like I said, that I don't have anything against the TJ. It was a manual and it just was a little bouncy for the stuff we were doing. So. These guys got nervous. I kept wheeling. But these
it was
guys
always
got
super light in the front, and it was terrifying.
Yeah, so.
Well, those springs like to bouncy around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, I was fine. They yelled.
So he and I started wheeling together about that time, probably 7 or 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
And then we met Mason 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, on the meet and greet ride.
And I remember you had a arm rock crawler lift on your Jeep.
Yep, and 35.
Yeah, and I don't remember what trail we were on.
No, 30. I was on 33s at the time with a 3.5-inch lift because I didn't afford 35s.
And I remember
watching. I remember it was. I forget who our trail leader was. It was like, it'll be fine. It does it. I know it does. And then not Crawler Creek, Townsend Creek, and you guys are trying to get me up that ledge, and my sway bar flipped
That's right.
itself.
Yeah. But I
And
remember
there
s-
went $200 links.
Yeah, that's right. That was like the first time.
Yeah.
When I saw his rock crawler lift, and I had like a Terraflex kind of street lift at that point, and I was like, ooh, there's a lot better parts out there, and that kind of started the build. So it's your fault.
It is.
It's your fault.
I would say there was the Windrock trip that did that one, though. When we were coming down 22, when the boulder used to be in the middle of the trail. And I was not even lifting a tire.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, well, he and I both have rock crawler products at this point, and
Yep.
we're super happy with them, and you're still rocking the rough country stuff, but it works.
Well, a blend of that, metal
Yeah.
springs.
Yeah. Well, they're rock crawler springs in the back now, so you're
The lock and
you're
load.
working your way that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
So
It's like half rough country, half metal float.
I start off really cheap, then kind of add or replace and build to, and these guys keep on going to expensive. And I'm a Harbor Freight person, so these guys are trying to be more Milwaukee.
Let's rephrase. We have also done that.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to the point that I'm on version 4, I think, now of my Jeep.
I'm on version 5 now.
And
I'm
it-
like 1.4.
Yeah, it took me 4 tries to realize the buy once, cry once mentality. So we're doing that at this point.
And it took a panic before going to Moab last fall of just spend the money now because it'll be fine.
Yes. Yeah, so we went to Moab back in September of 23. That was the third time's the charm for us because he and I tried to go in 2020. We all know what happened in 2020, so Moab was closed and none of us could go. We were trying again. No, we skipped 21 because COVID was still going on, so we tried again in 22. I had a shoulder surgery, and we were building mine. Right? Yeah, we were building mine to make Moab later in that year of 22. And I was in a sling in the back of my truck with my rear axle out. He's trying to help me unload it, and I'm carrying it with one arm, and he picks the whole thing up with the carrier and shafts and everything. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And then I saw him go, ugh, and his whole face turned white. And he goes, I think I ripped my bicep.
I think he still picked up part of it and took it, but
Still my fault.
Either way.
Yeah.
either way, yeah, I definitely tore my bicep.
Yeah, so both of us were in slings in 22, so that didn't work out. And then 23, we finally made it. So there
Yeah.
was a giant build push in 23 to get everything.
But we still worked on Jeeps the whole time.
We did.
I just
Yeah.
had one good hand, and he had his one good
Yeah.
hand.
And the sling is really nice to weld off of. You just kind of hang it there and support everything, so it worked out good. But we did finally make it. We'll do a recap video of Moab. We kind of posted some shorts about that trip, and at the time we didn't know we were going to make this YouTube, so a lot of the content's vertical. So we'll see what we can get into a YouTube horizontal video. But
Most of our wheeling trips have been Slade, Windrock, and Moab.
a little bit of West Virginia, a little bit of Pennsylvania.
A little bit of Pennsylvania.
So let's talk about that. Let's go. Like right now, of all the places we've gone, obviously Moab has been our favorite.
Moab's
but
number one. No matter
East
what.
Coast, like what's been our favorite places to wheel? You go first.
Windrock. Just because every time we've been there, we've had a better build, and we've gone on different trails that we probably are like borderline shouldn't be on, and then we're like, oh, it works, and then we just keep going harder and harder. To where the point now it's double blacks and reds over there. We're making it work.
Yeah, for the people who aren't familiar with East Coast wheeling, Windrock is like 70,000 acres down in Tennessee near Lake Norris off 75. It is literally an entire mountain, and it's just off-road trails. So you can do green, easy gravel roads all day, or you can do crazy buggy line stuff. So that's about a 5-hour drive for us. So
Buggy
it's kind of
line. Jeeps will do it.
Yeah.
Just bounce them around. Gas pedal.
I forgot to mention Black Mountain was cool too. That was
I
fun.
enjoyed Black Mountain. That was different. We hadn't been there before.
And it rained.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one, but I still Windrock.
You say Windrock?
Yeah.
Location, quality of trails. Out of all those type of worlds, it doesn't have to kill a whole week to get there.
It's nice to sleep in a hotel and have a hot shower.
Yeah, that is the other thing. Oak Ridge is 15
Overrated.
minutes away.
Overrated.
If
Okay.
anybody knows me, I sweat. I'm sweating sitting here now, so they want me to shower, even though I'm in a totally different Jeep. Whatever.
I think for me, of the ones, I know you haven't been there yet, but for me, the Roush Creek was just insane. It's a drive. For us, it was like 9 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the pictures of you guys out on that
the
big
Rock Garden.
Rock Garden.
Yeah.
I literally saw a picture of 2 Jeeps out there, and it looked like 100 acres worth of rocks.
It took us a while to get pulled out just to take that picture and back out.
Oh my gosh, it'll
Just
swallow a
the
37.
2 of us out there were not equipped to go cruising down that.
Yeah.
Well, all the rocks are loose. They're like the size of a picnic table, and you can't winch to them or anything else. So we were intimidated and tucked tail and ran on that one. But I would like to go back. It's very technical rock crawling, slow, work your line type stuff. It's not floor it and bump it and get over the ledge.
Yeah.
Which took me some time to learn.
Well, that was the other thing. You had a manual for a while,
Yeah.
and played that game with all 3
That's-
feet.
Another reason why I went to the LJ. So
Yeah.
wanted the automatic.
So much more finesse with just 2 pedals.
This had 37s when I bought it, so had a Dynatrack front axle, so it had a lot of positives over the TJ, but I still have the TJ. If anybody wants one.
Where we
This
found
is a buy sell trade section.
Yeah, exactly. We found a TJ.
I got 2 axles coming out of a Jeep that I'm going to sell.
We found a TJ6 kit on Facebook that he has claimed multiple times that if he ever found a TJ6, he would buy it right now. And we found him a tub and a frame with some Super Duty axles. And I've been trying to talk him into spending his money for a while, so I'm really good at spending your money.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were negotiating the price down.
Well, we haven't got that far yet. Is this? I have to buy it for you. Just,
I just-
here's the price. You just show up.
Just show
Yeah.
I see how that works. Yeah. He wants
Trailer's
me to-
loaded. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm just gonna show up at your house. Hey, let's go.
Perfect.
Um,
I'm all for that. Saves me a lot of hassle.
Any places you guys that haven't been yet that you want to go to? I know for me in September, I'm doing this whole build to go to West Virginia with Great American Crawl, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Good Evening Ranch.
No, they're doing Bear Wallow,
Okay.
so a lot of rocks still. Good Evening Ranch is definitely on the list. Everything I've seen there looks amazing.
Yeah, I'd like to do Good Evening. I'd honestly like to get back to AOP down in Tennessee. We were there with the TJ, and my Jeep was still pretty stock, so we weren't able to do a whole lot. And S'more is high on my list.
S'more. That's the one close by, at least for me, in my mind, close by. That's the one.
If you guys have been there, let us know. Good trails, and I think the hotel situation is difficult, but I've heard
Yeah.
they built some cabins and restrooms and campgrounds and stuff, so that should be nice.
I can sleep in the back of a truck. It's fine.
Now it's okay.
No, when I have that nice dad's truck again, it's like a spaceship in there. It's very comfortable.
So that's where we, excuse me, that's where we want to go next. Let's go like bucket list. We did Moab. I know I've got a couple I want to do.
Sand Hollow and the Rubicon.
Those are my 2. Sand
Those
Hollow
2.
and Rubicon.
I didn't even think about Rubicon. Sand Hollow just looks fun just because of all the other videos to see. But
Yeah. And-
Sand Hollow is kind of becoming the new Moab, so.
Yeah.
And all the traction we had in Moab, like I don't
That's-
think there's really anything in Sand Hollow we couldn't do.
correct.
Or
Well,
at least put tires on.
yeah, the Jeep. I might have a confidence, courage issue with some of
Yeah.
those. Straight up.
No, you got more wheelbase now.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah,
fine.
8 more inches. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think hopefully every couple of years we can try to do a big trip out west. It takes us
Yeah.
so much time to get out there, and Kansas sucks for everyone who's driven across it.
Mhm.
I didn't have a problem with it. They did.
Yeah.
It's not great in an F-150 in a very heavy Jeep.
Well, everyone says Kansas is flat, but it's flat from like, I don't know, 1,000 feet to 6,000 feet in Denver. It's just a giant ramp to
Yeah.
Denver, so you're uphill for 8 hours straight. But yeah,
I was the passenger the first out trip. Coming back, I was the driver, and I didn't have any problems.
Yeah, it was all downhill on the way
Exactly.
back.
That's why I loved it.
I think you left Mason and Grand Junction and went on in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It wasn't that far.
Johnson Valley's definitely on the list too. I don't know if I'll be able to do that on this build. Maybe the next one. Because Johnson Valley just looks terrifying.
Johnson Valley does look fun. I would like to get out there for King of the Hammers just to see it once.
Yeah.
It would be wild to actually see that in person. It's been sweet now for anyone who's watched it. They've got drones and live footage, and every end of January, beginning of February, you get to watch that race, and it would be cool to kind of hit all the trails or some of the obstacles that those
Yeah.
guys hit and see those in person, because I'm sure
Yeah.
they're insane.
Like
Unless
when you
these
watch
guys
Lauren
have-
Healy launch off back door, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
Where's that 24-hour trail?
New Mexico. Or Arizona.
Well, they change it every year. You're
Yeah,
talking
the one they
24
just
hours
did?
and all
They
that.
just
yeah, I think that was Arizona.
Yeah, let's go look at that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
2.5 miles for 24 hours?
I don't think I want to wheel it. Just walk up it once.
Yeah, okay.
Or down it. Down it might be easier for me.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at notes here, see what else we were going to cover today. let's talk about the Jeeps then. So we've all, I started on stock tires. You started on 33s. I think you started on 35s. If you had a stock Jeep right now and you could do two things to it to go do fun stuff, what would be the two things that you would do?
Rock crawler 3.5 inch X Factor and 35s, and you could do a lot.
Yeah. I think I would put probably one locker in if you're just trying to have fun, and 35s, and you could probably go have a good time on a stock suspension, and you're only a couple grand into it.
Or you just buy a Rubicon.
Or that.
I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I had a 2-door and no lockers and Dana 30s, and I was like, not great. So I sold it and bought a Rubicon.
That's what I mean. So starting out, mine was a Rubicon. So to sit there,
fancy people.
to sit there and say, well, when you buy used, that's the other thing.
Yeah, buy used. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when you buy used, and it's a Rubicon. It's like so I started with lockers, and I still tried not to use them. But
Yeah, I didn't. I wheeled for, a year or two without any lockers, and
Yeah.
that's not fun. Well, it is, but you get to the point where there's things that you can't do and you want to.
where everything's a bump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bump or a winch and skid plates. So.
Yeah.
So if you showed up with a Rubicon, what would you do to it? Winch?
Yeah, definitely have a winch no matter what. But winch and then a little lift on it. The 3.5 inch lift with 35s. You can probably squeeze 37s with the high line fender type mod.
Yeah.
And then go in a TJ. Go in an LJ. It's not that bad. But beyond that, you're starting long arms. You're starting
Yeah.
A build.
axle change it.
Yeah, you're doing a build.
And yeah, I start off baby.
When we started too, 35s were still respectable. It's kind of
Yeah,
difficult
I mean-
now to get anywhere. But if you were just starting out and you wanted to just put some wheels and tires on a Jeep and go have fun and see what happened, that's what I would.
You guys were on 37s for a year or two before I ever got them. And I was wheeling
that's right.
everything on 35s in a long 4-door.
That's what I went out and
We
bought.
crawled up Trail 15 in that thing.
I bought Pitbull tires,
Yeah.
35s, and that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to buy tires. And I was like, what tires is everybody getting? He said, just get 35s. That's what. Right after that, everybody was getting 37s. And, okay, so I'm playing catch up. So then I get 37s, and now everybody's on 40s and 43s and
Yeah.
54s, and it's like, good grief. It's like we're always going to be chasing the biggest tire.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just going to show up with the monster truck tires and crawl everything.
Just get Bigfoot and
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Bigfoot with 2 PSI. Here we go. We float across everything.
Yeah. I think the three of us kind of made a name for ourselves, though, with all the groups that we go wheeling with. We show up on 37s and hang.
And go, yeah. Yeah, we've had a good time, and a lot of that's just knowing your vehicle because we had the Jeeps not fully built when we first bought them. I know that a lot of people, and to each their own, but a lot of people go out there and buy a JL, and they'll slap 37s or 40s on it, and if you got a Rubicon, you're kind of set up and ready to go to hit whatever trail you want, and
Yeah.
that was not us. Like he said he did a budget build, and a lot of us started that way, so you kind of had to figure out how to wheel, do what the vehicle will do and not just point and shoot. So I think that helped us kind of figure out, and especially East Coast, like it's always muddy, it's always raining, you don't have a ton of traction even when it's dry, so you kind of gotta just bump it.
Yeah.
Or the biggest, gnarliest tires you can get.
Yeah.
So, okay, of all the stuff we have done, like I said, I'm in version 4 now of my Jeep, and you guys have rebuilt a couple times. What is the absolute worst thing you would not do again?
Ironically, it's something that we used once, but I haven't used it since, and that was a snorkel.
Okay.
We went up to, where was that, Mackinac?
Yeah, that's right.
That first year we got it, and we were in water right up to the headlights, cruising around. And so we used it, but that was the only time we ever needed it that deep. I was like, so it's on there. That's on the TJ. I don't see ever needing that mod again, so that's one.
I would rip all the lights off mine. I have, actually the first mod that I ever got for my Jeep, he gave me. You gave me a light bar from Amazon.
It's because that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
I want a light bar.
Light bars before lockers.
Exactly.
That was me.
And once again, he was looking at the $500 light bar, and I was like, you're going to use it like twice. Here's a $50 Amazon bar. Use this one.
Yeah.
And it's still working.
It does still work. It does. I thought about ripping it off, but I don't know what the windshield looks like behind there. It's taking some hits, so
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hard. I would say if you're gonna do a lift kit, make sure you talk with whoever you're gonna have do it, or when you're looking through buying it, get the adjustable track bars and upgrade the steering along with whatever arms you're gonna go with. Because I know every time I have built my Jeep, it's always been, oh well, the steering's not strong enough to handle the PSC ramps. So now you got to upgrade your tie rod and drag link, or oh well, you're going taller, so now we got to get new track bars. This kit doesn't come with that, so now you're spending extra money. It's just do the research, because every time I've always done it, it's always been, oh, you need this too.
The first lift I bought was a Terraflex, like whatever it was, ST3 or whatever their street, because I still drove my Jeep as a daily driver at the time, and nothing was adjustable, so you couldn't really align or do. I mean, you could, but not near the adjustability we have now. So I would highly recommend adjustable control arms and track bar, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my second one, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, is my PRP seats. I hate them. I have a bad back.
This chair currently hurts
right
back.
dirty. Yeah. But for whatever reason, they're beautiful seats. They're high quality seats. I got the Enduro Elite crawls, and the way the bolsters are, they only bolster like down around your kidneys, your shoulders, and you're just doing this the whole time. You guys might sit in them fine, but my small frame.
I bought the same Corbeau seats that Corey has, because I sat in his seats once and I was like, just like tucked in, and I was like, oh yeah, that's it.
I've been looking, and PRP, if you're watching this, give me some seats. But they've got other seats. I think I just bought the wrong seats, but
Yeah.
these are not the ones for me.
He needs the ones with 3 inches of padding for his weak back. And
Yeah, right.
Very
If you could just
soft.
cradle me.
Electronically
and
adjustable lumbar
yeah,
support.
yeah. I need the seat in my truck, in my Jeep.
And
with
cooling.
Yeah.
So there's our
cooling.
next mod, putting a,
5.9.
what is it, a Cummins seat inside
Yes,
a
exactly.
JK.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm still probably going to change that out. You guys will probably see that on the channel, but they've got like the podium seats that kind of come around a little bit more. I've sat in the Elite seats, and I wanted something that would recline. Their bolsters kind of, I don't know, round your back. The problem is you can't sit in the seats before you buy them, so you're like $3,000 into a pair of seats without really knowing if they're good seats or not. So
Without flying out to the West Coast and going to.
which at this point would have been cheaper than just dropping $3,000 on seats and then finding out they don't work. So
That's fair.
yeah. All right, well, we're gonna wrap this one up. Any last thoughts or words of wisdom that you want to give anybody?
Oh.
We're going to just kind of do these occasionally. If you guys have questions or want us to talk about something particular, drop it in the comments. We're going to get back to work because we've got a ton of stuff to do. We were able to squeeze this into 2 projects. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.